In this section, we will learn different ways of adding CSS in web pages. First, remove the code of the previous section. Then go to File and click on Save As. Then locate the folder we have been working in. Inside the CSS folder, create another folder named Adding CSS. Save this file as addingcss.html in this folder. Then load this web page and close the previous tab if there is any. Now create a heading element. It says Adding CSS in Web Pages. And create a paragraph element. Write, in this lesson, we will learn how to add CSS in web page. Now inside the opening h1 tag, write style equals and take a set of double quote. Inside this double quote, we can set CSS property value pair. Let's set color to blue and text align to center. Remember, each declaration must be terminated with a semicolon, otherwise it will not work. Add some style in the paragraph as well. Let's make the text color red. Save the code and reload the web page. The heading is at the center and the color is blue. The color of the paragraph is red. This is how we can add CSS in HTML element directly. Adding CSS in this way is known as Inline CSS. Remove these styles. Save the code and reload the web page. Now, create a style element in the head. Select the h1 element using name selector. Set color to blue and text align to center. Select the p element and set color to red. Save the code and reload the web page. We have got the style back. Adding styles in this way is called internal CSS. Now cut this style element. Create a new file. Save it in the Adding CSS folder as mystyle.css or any other name you prefer. But you must have to use this .css extension. Then paste the style element here. Remove these style tags. Save this file. Now, inside the head, create a link element. Set the rel attribute to style sheet. Here, rel is the short form of relationship. It means this link is related to style sheet. Then set type attribute to text/CSS. It indicates that the type of the link is CSS. Then use href attribute. The location of the style sheet we have saved few moments ago will be here. In our case, it is mystyle.css. Now save the code and reload the web page. Although we can't see any style defined here, style remains the same. It is coming from this external CSS file. Let's modify the file. Paragraph text will be green and heading text will be red. Save it and reload the web page. The style has been changed. Adding CSS style in this way is known as external CSS. External CSS is always recommended because it can be created once and used in multiple web pages. When we use internal CSS, we can use it in one web page only. And inline CSS make things really clumsy. It is very difficult to modify the style of different elements when we use inline CSS because style elements need to be modified individually. Now I want to show you an important concept of adding CSS in different way. For that, we need to add internal CSS. We already know how to do it. Set the color of the heading to blue and align it to right. Then change the color of the paragraph text to red. Save the code and reload the web page. We have got the style defined by internal CSS. External CSS is still present here. However, we cannot see the effect of external CSS because internal CSS overrides the external CSS. Now we are going to add some inline CSS. Set the heading color to orange and align it to left. Change the color of the paragraph text to light blue. Save the code and reload the web page. Now the internal CSS has been overridden by inline CSS. That means inline CSS has the highest priority, then comes the internal CSS, and the external CSS gets the lowest priority. That's all for this section, and I will see you in the next section.